All right, so I've got the 2 logs here. We need to get 24 pieces all together. If I have 2 logs, I need 12 out of each one. And so let's make life easy. I'm going to cut each log in half again. Oh, I wasn't in half. All right, so let's try to get this one. I'm eyeballing it. Let's see if we can get that one in half. Oh, I'm not good at doing halves. All right, so let's see. These 2 are the same. All right, so we can use that, and we're gonna get so we need 12 out of this. We need 6 out of each log then. If I divide it in half, nope, so I gotta do like 1, 2, I'm going to do thirds. All right, and that will get us 6. All right, so we have 6. All right, and now we have 12. So I'll cut the rest later. We're going to take each ball and we're going to roll it in our hands to make more like a ball. So I can even do that on the surface, the counter here. If it starts to fall apart, you just have to squish it a bit more. Warm it up with your hand. You're making the butter warm up, and that'll help keep it together. You can do it between 2 hands. That's probably easier. And then once you get a nice ball, we're going to put it on our half-sheet baking pan with the parchment paper. And we're going to use the fork, and we're going to imprint that shape on the top, those little ridges. That's what gives it its distinctive shape. It's the same thing that's used for when you're making peanut butter cookies. If you've ever seen peanut butter cookies with that indentation on it, it comes from pressing down on the cookie dough with a fork. So here's our fork, and I'm going to press it down. Voila, there's that little indent. So now I got to do the rest of these. That's going to take a while, and then I'm going to put them into a 300-degree oven. All right, so here they are out of the oven. Let's check. Nice golden brown on the bottom. They're like shortbread, so you don't want to have too much color on it. Nice golden brown. And then what we need to do next is to make the buttercream that's going to go in the inside of it. So we'll do that as another demonstration. We'll make the buttercream, and then we'll sandwich the cookies together and show you what it looks like. And these are our Yo-Yo Biscuits from Australia. All right, so we have made the yo-yos, and now we're going to make the buttercream filling that we sandwich them in. I showed you earlier how to measure the grams and convert it into ounces and do the measurement that way, but let's just pretend you don't have a calculator or a piece of paper and a pen and can figure it out. How can we do it by just leaving it that way? Well, I have a scale, and it has the ability to go to grams. So let's look at our scale. All right, so this scale right now, it says pounds, and I'm gonna be able to click it, and it should be able to tell us where we are. So that now is at ounces. I keep clicking it. Milliliters. G for grams. So now it's set at grams. So all I have to do is read the amount. We need 130 grams of unsalted butter. So here's a stick of butter. How much does that weigh? It's 113 grams. We need 130. So let me put another piece of butter here. How much? Ooh, almost exactly 130. Let's get a little bit more. Let's get 130. Thanks. And somebody's knocking at the door. Hold on. All right, thank goodness. Miss Melissa came and is giving me a hand so I can get this. I gotta get exactly 130 grams. Since we're using grams now. And the butter is nice and soft, so it's ready to use. Because we're gonna make this right now. 129, I'm not gonna mess with it. We need 130 exactly, and the scale tends to not get it exactly in. So I'm just gonna scrape our softened butter into the mixer. I already have the paddle attachment ready to go. And I'm gonna get in the butter. Here are the yo-yos, they're already baked and they've cooled. So now we can make our buttercream filling and we'll spread that on the inside. For the recipe, we need the butter, the 165 grams of powdered sugar, so that's ready. I also need to do the zest. So I'm gonna zest this orange, lemon. I'm gonna zest the lemon. We need a teaspoon of zest. So remember, we don't wanna get that white underneath. The white is very bitter. That's called the pith. We just want the yellow on the outside. All right, and we just need 1 teaspoon. Now, I know that usually 1 lemon is about 1 teaspoon, so I'm just gonna zest this whole entire lemon and then use my measuring spoons and measure out 1 teaspoon. So you see I keep rotating it because I don't want to get that white pith underneath the yellow in it, because again, that's bitter. So take your time doing this. You don't want to scratch your knuckles on there. That would hurt. You'd get a nice cut from that. So this should be 1 teaspoon, and when you're measuring zest, I always pack it in, okay? So there we go. We've got a packed teaspoon of zest. This is going to give a really nice flavor. Otherwise, that's just all butter and sugar. That's going to be too overloaded. So we're going to add that. Now I'm going to start this mixing. And while it's mixing, I'm going to juice a lemon because we need lemon juice. So I had my paring knife. There it is. All right, so we need 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. And just squeeze it right in half. Cut it right in half, and then I'm going to squeeze this into a container. The best thing to do if you don't have what's called a reamer is to take a fork. Stick the fork in the middle and then squeeze the juice. Keep the fork in there and have the fork pressed down while you're squeezing. See how much juice I'm getting out of there? All right, we need a teaspoon of juice. That too is gonna cut the sweetness of this because otherwise it'd be way too sweet, just that. I'm gonna remove the seeds. There we go. And this should be a teaspoon of lemon juice. Yep, so there we go. I'm gonna put that in. All right, and then over here, I've got my spatula, and we're gonna turn off the machine. I've got to scrape down the paddle and the sides of the bowl. So if you can you see inside the bowl? Our butter's nice and soft. We want to get it whipped up a little bit. All that lemon zest is mixing in. And then we're gonna add our powdered sugar. So I'm gonna unlock it though also and scrape off the paddle. Make sure we get every little bit. We don't want a lump of lemon zest in our icing, our buttercream icing that's gonna be sandwiched between the cookies, because that would just be a little too overpowering on the other side of sweet. It would be too sour. So we gotta make sure you get a good balance. Put that back in. Turn it on low so it doesn't go everywhere. And we're gonna let that mix in. Now, we wanna make our buttercream icing with a nice little color, so I think pink would look good. Do you agree?
Yeah.
It's not really Christmas yet, so, and I don't have enough red.
Okay.
So I figured pink would look good. It was festive. So when you're at home and you're coloring it, you could do any color that you want. But for today, we're just gonna make them pink, because that's cute. And pink is my favorite color. You can imagine this could be possibly served at a tea. Remember our date scones for our tea service? Well, the tea caddy had lots of different sweets on it. This could be one of them. So that's our pink food coloring. We'll add that in. And you can get this at Michael's. It's Wilton food coloring. You could get it at Amazon as well, amazon.com. Now I'm turning this up a little bit just because I wanted to also get fluffy. So the icing, if it's on a higher speed, is going to get fluffy at the same time, and then it'll be nice to spread. And you can see the pink is mixing in, so I'm going to turn this off again, scrape down the paddle and the sides of the bowl to get all that sugar in there. And see, we didn't need much food coloring. It's already a hot, bright pink. It's not even completely mixed in yet. So some food colorings you need a lot, some you don't. Pink just happens to be one of them that you don't need too much of it, and it's pretty strong. If you're ever trying to get black, you need an insane amount to get black. Or blue. Blue also. So if you've ever had something that has blue buttercream on it, maybe your tongue turns blue. All right, now how does that look? We got a nice pink color. Is it looking fluffy?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's looking nice and fluffy. Just turn it up for a second. Get it really fluffed up. There we go. And now we get some nice cookies made. Now, if you look at the cookies, this was the first batch I baked. These are getting sandwiched together, and this was according to the directions on the recipe. But that looks ginormous. Who's going to be able to eat that? So I made the rest of them much smaller. I think that's better. Plus you get more cookies. But we will certainly make one sandwich here. Also, I'm not sure. We don't want to put too much icing, but enough to sandwich the two together. So we'll make, there we go. How cute is that? So that's supposed to look like a yo-yo. So make that one for Miss Melissa.
Ooh.
Then I will make one for Mr. Lokanoff, so he'll come and fix my refrigerator. I hope. Mr. Lokanoff's probably outside already, so he'll have to have this after his lunch. So we shall see. But aren't these cute? These are adorable. They're called Yo-yos, cookies from Australia. And they look so cute. So thank you, everybody. Thanks a million for being here with us in the kitchen, and I hope you get inspired enough to make this at home. All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye, all.